I'm reading from the Cepher, the Book of Sirach, also called the Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 1. All wisdom comes from Yahweh and is with him forever. Who can number the sand of the sea and the drops of rain and the days of eternity? Who can find out the height of heaven and the breadth of the earth, the deep and wisdom? Wisdom has been created before all things, and the understanding of prudence from everlasting. The word of El Elyon is the fountain of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments. To whom has the root of wisdom been revealed, or who has known her wise counsels? To whom has the knowledge of wisdom been made manifest, and who has understood her great experience? There is one wise and greatly to be feared, Yahweh, sitting upon his throne. He created her, and saw her, and numbered her, and poured her out upon all his works. She is with all flesh according to his gift, and he has given her to those who love him. The fear of Yahweh is honor and glory and gladness, and a crown of rejoicing. The fear of Yahweh makes a merry heart and gives joy and gladness and a long life. Whoso fears Yahweh, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the days of his death. To fear Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb. She has built an everlasting foundation with men, and she shall continue with their seed. To fear Yahweh is fullness of wisdom, and fills men with her fruits. She fills all their house with things desirable, and the garners with her increase. The fear of Yahweh is a crown of wisdom, making peace and perfect health to flourish, both which are the gifts of Elohim, and it enlarges their rejoicing that love him. Wisdom rains down skill and knowledge of understanding, and exalts them to honor that hold her fast. The root of wisdom is to fear Yahweh, and the branches thereof are long life. The fear of Yahweh drives away sins, and where it is present, it turns away wrath. A furious man cannot be justified, for the sway of his fury shall be his destruction. A patient man will tear for a time, and afterward joy shall spring up to him. He will hide his words for a time, and the lips of many shall declare his wisdom. The parables of knowledge are in the treasures of wisdom, but the fear of Elohim is abominable to the sinner. If you desire wisdom, guard the commandments, and Yahweh shall give her to you. For the fear of Yahweh is wisdom and instruction, and faith and meekness are his delight. Distrust not the fear of Yahweh when you are poor, and come not to him with the double heart. Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what you speak. Exalt not yourself, lest you fall, and bring dishonor upon your soul. And so Elohim discover your secrets and cast you down in the midst of the assembly, because you came not in truth to the fear of Yahweh, but your heart is full of deceit. Chapter 2. My son, if you come to serve Yahweh, prepare your soul for temptation. Set your heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave to him and depart not away, that you may be increased at your last end. Whatsoever is brought upon you, take cheerfully, and be patient when you're changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help you. Order your way aright, and trust in him. You that fear Yahweh, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest you fall. You that fear Yahweh, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. You that fear Yahweh, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For Yahweh is full of compassion and mercy and long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgives sins, and saves in time of affliction. Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goes 2 ways. Woe to him that is faint-hearted, for he believes not. Therefore shall he not be defended. Woe to you that have lost patience, and what will you do when Yahweh shall visit you? They that fear Yahweh will not disobey his word, and they that love him will guard his ways. They that fear Yahweh will seek that which is well-pleasing to him, and they that love him shall be filled with the Torah. They that fear Yahweh will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, We will fall into the hands of Yahweh, and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. Chapter 3. Hear me, your fathers, O children, and do thereafter, that you may be safe. For Yahweh has given the father honor over the children, and has confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. Whoso honors his father makes an atonement for his sins, and he that honors his mother is one that lays up treasure. Whoso honors his father shall have joy of his own children, and when he makes his prayer, he shall be heard. He that honors his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient to Yahweh shall be a comfort to his mother. He that fears Yahweh will honor his father, and will do service to his parents as to his Adonai. Honor your father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon you from them. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children, but the curse of the mother roots out foundations. Glory not in the dishonor of your father, for your father's dishonor is not glory to you. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach to her children. My son, help your father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he lives. And if his understanding fail, have patience with him, and despise him not when you are in your full strength. For the relieving of your father shall not be forgotten, and instead of sins it shall be added to build you up. In the day of your affliction it shall be remembered. Your sins also shall melt away as the ice in the fair warm weather. He that forsakes his father is as a blasphemer, and he that angers his mother is cursed of Elohim. My son, go on with your business in meekness. So shall ye be beloved of him that is approved. The greater you are, the more you humble yourself, and you shall find favor before Yahweh. Many are in high places and of renown, but mysteries are revealed to the meek. For the power of Yahweh is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Seek not out things that are too hard for you, neither search the things that are above your strength. But what is commanded you, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for you to see with your eyes the things that are in secret. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed to you than men understand. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. Without eyes you shall want light. Profess not the knowledge, therefore, that you have not. A stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loves danger shall perish therein. An obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrows, and the wicked man shall heap sin upon sin. In the punishment of the proud there is no remedy, for the plant of wickedness has taken root in him. The heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man. Water will quench a flaming fire, and alms make an atonement for sins. And he that requites good terms is mindful of that which may come hereafter, and when he falls, he shall find a stay. Chapter 4. My son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long. Make not a hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. Add not more trouble to a heart that is vexed, and defer not to give to him that is in need. Reject not the supplication of the afflicted, neither turn away your face from a poor man. Turn not away your eye from the needy, and give him none occasion to curse you. For if he curses you in the bitterness of his soul, his prayer shall be heard of him that made him. Get yourself the love of the assembly, and bow your head to a great man. Let it not grieve you to bow down your ear to the poor, and give him a friendly answer with meekness. Deliver him that suffers wrong from the hand of the oppressor, and be not faint-hearted when you sit in judgment. Be as a father to the fatherless, and instead of a man to his mother, so shall you be as the son of El Elyon, and he shall love you more than your mother does. Wisdom exalts her children, and lays hold of those who seek her. He that loves her loves life, and they that seek her early shall be filled with joy. He that holds her fast shall inherit glory, and wheresoever she enters, Yahweh will bless her. They that serve her shall minister to the Holy One, and those who love her Yahweh loves. Whoso gives ear to her shall judge the nations, and he that attends to her shall dwell securely. If a man commit himself to her, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline, until she may trust his soul and try him by her Torah. Then will she return the straight way to him, and comfort him, and show him her secrets. But if he goes wrong, she will forsake him, and give him over to his own ruin. Observe the opportunity, and be aware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerns your soul. For there is a shame that brings sin, and there is a shame which is glory and grace. Accept no person against your soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause you to fall. And refrain not to speak when there is occasion to do good, and hide not your wisdom in her beauty. For by speech wisdom shall be known, and learning by the word of the tongue. In no wise speak against the truth, but be abashed of the error of your ignorance. Be not ashamed to confess your sins, and force not the course of the river. Make not yourself an underling to a foolish man, neither accept the person of the mighty. Strive for the truth to death, and Yahweh shall fight for you. Be not hasty in your tongue, and in your deeds slack and remiss. Be not as a lion in your house, nor frantic among your servants. Let not your hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when you should repay. Chapter 5. Set your heart upon your goods, and say not, I have enough for my life. Follow not your own mind and your strength to walk in the ways of your heart, and say not, who shall control me for my works? For Yahweh will surely revenge your pride. Say not, I have sinned, and what harm has happened to me? For Yahweh is long-suffering, he will in no wise let you go. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin to sin, and say not, his mercy is great. He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation rests upon sinners. Make no tarrying to turn to Yahweh, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh come forth, and in your security you shall be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. Set not your heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit you in the day of calamity. Winnow not with every wind, and go not into every way, for so does the sinner that has a double tongue. Be steadfast in your understanding, and let your word be the same. Be swift to hear, and let your life be sincere, and with patience give answer. If you have understanding, answer your neighbor. If not, lay your hand upon your mouth. Honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of man is his fall. Be not called a whisperer, and lie not in wait with your tongue, for a foul shame is upon the thief, and an evil condemnation upon the double tongue. Be not ignorant of anything, a great matter or small. Chapter 6. Instead of a friend, become not an enemy, for thereby you shall inherit an ill name, shame, and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that has a double tongue. Extol not yourself in the counsel of your own heart, that your soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying alone. You shall eat up your leaves and lose your fruit, and leave yourself as a dry tree. A wicked soul shall destroy him that has it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies. Sweet language will multiply friends, and a fair-speaking tongue will increase kind greetings. Be in peace with many, nevertheless have but one counselor of 1,000. If you would get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of your trouble. And there is a friend, who being turned to enmity and strife will discover your reproach. Again, some friend is a companion at the table, and will not continue in the day of your affliction. But in your prosperity he will be as yourself, and will be hold over your servants. If you be brought low, he will be against you, and will hide himself from your face. Separate yourself from your enemies, and take heed of your friends. A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that has found such one has found a treasure. Nothing countervails a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable. A faithful friend is a medicine of life, and they that fear Yahweh shall find him. Whoso fears Yahweh shall direct his friendships aright, for as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. My son, gather instruction from your youth up, so shall you find wisdom till your old age. Come unto her as one that plows and sows, and waits for her good fruits. For you shall not toil much in laboring about her, but you shall eat of her fruits right soon. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her. She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her from him ere it be long. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many. Give ear, my son, receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel, and put your feet into her fetters, and your neck into her chain. Bow down your shoulder and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds. Come unto her with your whole heart, and keep her ways with all your power. Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto you. And when you have got hold of her, let her not go. For at the last you shall find her rest, and that shall be turned to your joy. Then shall her fetters be a strong defense for you, and her chains a robe of glory. For there is a golden ornament upon her, and her bands are purple lace. You shall put her on as a robe of honor, and shall put her about you as a crown of joy. My son, if you will, you shall be taught, and if you will apply your mind, you shall be prudent. If you love to hear, you shall receive understanding, and if you bow your ear, you shall be wise. Stand in the multitude of the elders, and cleave unto him that is wise. Be willing to hear every holy discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape you. And if you see a man of understanding, get you early unto him, and let your foot wear the steps of his door. Let your mind be upon the ordinances of Yahweh, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish your heart and give you wisdom at your own desire. Chapter 7. Do no evil, so shall no harm come unto you. Depart from the unjust, and iniquity shall turn away from you. My son, sow not upon the furrows of unrighteousness, and you shall not reap them sevenfold. Seek not of Yahweh preeminence, neither of the king the seat of honor. Justify not yourself before Yahweh, and boast not of your wisdom before the king. Seek not to be judge, being not able to take away iniquity, lest at any time you fear the person of the mighty, a stumbling block in the way of your uprightness. Offend not against the multitude of a city, and then you shall not cast yourself down among the people. Bind not one sin upon another, for in one you shall not be unpunished. Say not, Elohim will look upon the multitude of my oblations, and when I offer to El Elyon, he will accept it. Be not faint-hearted when you make your prayer, and neglect not to give alms. Laugh no man to scorn in the bitterness of his soul, for there is one which humbles and exalts. Devise not a lie against your brother, neither do the like to your friend. Use not to make any manner of lie, for the custom thereof is not good. Use not many words in a multitude of elders, and make not much babbling when you pray. Hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which El Elyon has ordained. Number not yourself among the multitude of sinners, but remember that wrath will not tarry long. Humble yourself greatly, for the vengeance of the wicked is fire and worms. Change not the friend for any good by no means, neither a faithful brother for the gold of Ophrah. Forgo not a wise and good woman, for her grace is above gold. Whereas your servant works truly, entreat him not evil, nor the hireling that bestows himself wholly for you. Let your soul love a good servant, and defraud him not of liberty. Have you cattle? Have an eye to them, and if they be for your profit, keep them with you. Have you children? Instruct them, and bow down their neck from their youth. Have you daughters? Have a care of their body, and show not yourself cheerful toward them. Marry your daughter, and so shall you have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding. Have you a woman after your mind? Forsake her not, but give not yourself over to a light woman. Honor your father with your whole heart, and forget not the sorrows of your mother. Remember that you were begotten of them, and how can you recompense them the things that they have done for you? Fear Yahweh with all your soul, and reverence his priests. Love him that made you with all your strength, and forsake not his ministers. Fear Yahweh and honor the priest, and give him his portion, as it is commanded you, the first fruits, and the trespass offering, and the gift of the shoulders, and the sacrifice of sanctification, and the first fruits of the holy things. And stretch your hand unto the poor, that your blessing may be perfected. A gift has grace in the sight of every man living, and for the dead detain it not. Fail not to be with them that weep, and mourn with them that mourn. Be not slow to visit the sick, for that shall make you to be beloved. Whatsoever you take in hand, remember the end, and you shall never do amiss. Chapter 8. Strive not with the mighty man, lest you fall into his hands. Be not at variance with the rich man, lest he overweigh you. For gold has destroyed many, and perverted the hearts of kings. Strive not with the man that is full of tongue, and heap not wood upon his fire. Jest not with the rude man, lest your ancestors be disgraced. Reproach not a man that turns from sin, but remember that we are all worthy of punishment. Dishonor not a man in his old age, for even some of us wax old. Rejoice not over your greatest enemy being dead, but remember that we die all. Despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint yourself with their proverbs, for of them ye shall learn Torah, and how to serve great men with ease. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learned of their fathers, and of them you shall learn understanding, and to give answer as need requires. Kindle not the coals of a sinner, lest ye be burned with the flames of his fire. Rise not up in anger at the presence of an injurious person, lest he lie in wait to entrap you in your words. Lend not unto him that is mightier than yourself, for if you lend him, count it but lost. Be not surety above your power, for if ye be surety, take care to pay it. Go not to law with the judge, for they will judge for him according to his honor. Travel not by the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto you, for he will do according to his own will, and you shall perish with him through his folly. Strive not with an angry man, and go not with him into a solitary place, for blood is as nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, he will overthrow you. Consult not with a fool, for he cannot keep counsel. Do no secret thing before a stranger, for you know not what he will bring forth. Open not your heart to every man, lest he requite you with a shrewd turn. Chapter 9. Be not jealous over your woman of your bosom, and teach her not an evil lesson against yourself. Give not your soul unto a woman to set her foot upon your substance. Meet not with a harlot, lest you fall into her snares. Use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest you be taken with her attempts. Gaze not on a maid, that you fall not by those things that are precious in her. Give not your soul unto harlots, that you lose not your inheritance. Look not around about you in the streets of the city, neither wander into the solitary place thereof. Turn away your eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. For herewith love is kindled as a fire. Sit not at all with another man's woman, nor sit down with her in your arms, and spend not your money with her at the wine, lest your heart incline unto her, and so through your desire you fall into destruction. Forsake not an old friend, for the new is not comparable to him. A new friend is as new wine. When it is old, you shall drink it with pleasure. Envy not the glory of a sinner, for you know not what shall be his end. Delight not in the thing that the wicked have pleasure in, but remember they shall not go unpunished unto their grave. Keep far from a man that has power to kill, so shall you not doubt the fear of death. And if you come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away your life presently. Remember that you go in the midst of snares, and that you walk upon the battlements of the city. As near as you can, guess at your neighbor, and consult with the wise. Let your talk be with the wise, and all your communication in the Torah of El Elyon. And let just men eat and drink with you, and let your glorying be in the fear of Yahweh. For the hand of the artificer the work shall be commended, and the wise ruler of the people for his speech. A man of an ill tongue is dangerous in his city, and he that is rash in his talk shall be hated. Chapter 10. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. An unwise king destroys his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of Yahweh, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. In the hand of Elohim is the prosperity of man, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. Bear not hatred to your neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices. Pride is hateful before Elohim and man, and by both does one commit iniquity. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Why is earth and ashes proud? There's not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such one sets his own soul to sale, because while he lives he casts away his bowels. The physician cuts off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. For when a man is dead, he shall inherit creeping things, beasts, and worms. The beginning of pride is when one departs from Elohim, and his heart is turned away from his Maker. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that has it shall pour out abomination. And therefore Yahweh brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. Yahweh has cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. Yahweh has plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. Yahweh overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. He took some of them away and destroyed them, and has made their memorial to cease from the earth. Pride was not made for men, nor furious anger for them that were born of women. They that fear Yahweh are a sure seed, and they that love him an honorable plant. They that regard not the Torah are a dishonorable seed. They that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed. Among brethren, he that is chief is honorable. So are they that fear Yahweh in his eyes. The fear of Yahweh goes before the obtaining of authority, but roughness and pride is the losing thereof. Whether he be rich, noble, or poor, their glory is the fear of Yahweh. It is not meet to despise the poor man that has understanding, neither is it convenient to magnify a sinful man. Great men and judges and potentates shall be honored, yet is there none of them greater than he that fears Yahweh. Unto the servant that is wise shall they that are free do service, and he that has knowledge will not grudge when he is reformed. Be not overwise in doing your business, and boast not yourself in the time of your distress. Better is he that labors and abounds in all things than he that boasts himself and wants bread. My son, glorify your soul in meekness, and give it honor according to the dignity thereof. Who will justify him that sins against his own soul, and who will honor him that dishonors his own life? The poor man is honored for his skill, and the rich man is honored for his riches. He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty? Chapter 11. Wisdom lifts up the head of him that is of low degree, and makes him to sit among great men. Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor him a man for his outward appearance. The bee is little among such as fly, but her fruit is the chief of sweet things. Boast not of your clothing and raiment, and exalt not yourself in the day of honor. For the works of Yahweh are wonderful, and his works among men are hidden. Many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of has worn the crown. Many mighty men have been greatly disgraced, and the honorable delivered into men's hands. Blame not before you have examined the truth. Understand first, and then rebuke. Answer not before you have heard the cause. Neither interrupt a man in the midst of his talk. Strive not in a matter that concerns you not, and sit not in judgment with sinners. My son, meddle not with many matters. For if you meddle much, you shall not be innocent. And if you follow after, you shall not obtain, neither shall you escape by fleeing. There is one that labors and takes pains and makes haste, and is so much the more behind. Again, there is another that is slow and has need of help, wanting ability and full of poverty. Yet the eye of Yahweh looked upon him for good, and set him up from his low estate, and lifted up his head from misery, so that many that saw from him is peace over all. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of Yahweh. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Torah are of Yahweh. Love and the way of good works are from him. Error and darkness had their beginning together with sinners, and evil shall wax old with them that glory therein. The gift of Yahweh remains with the Kodashim, and his favor brings prosperity forever. There is that waxes rich by his weariness and pinching, and this is the portion of his reward. Whereas he says, I have found rest, and now will eat continually of my goods. And yet he knows not what time shall come upon him, and that he must leave those things to others, and die. Be steadfast in your covenant, and be conversant therein, and wax old in your work. Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in Yahweh, and abide in your labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of Yahweh on the sudden to make a poor man rich. The blessing of Yahweh is in the reward of the holy, and suddenly he makes his blessing flourish. Say not, what profit is there of my service, and what good things shall I have hereafter? Again, say not, I have enough and possess many things, and what evil shall I have hereafter? In the day of prosperity there is a forgetfulness of affliction, and in the day of affliction there is no more remembrance of prosperity. For it is an easy thing unto Yahweh in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways. The affliction of an hour makes a man forget pleasure, and in his end his deeds shall be discovered. Judge none blessed before his death, for a man shall be known in his children. Bring not every man into your house, for the deceitful man has many trains. Like as a partridge taken and kept in a cage, so is the heart of the proud. And like as a spy, watches he for your fall. For he lies in wait, and turns good into evil, and in things worthy of praise will lay blame upon you. Of a spark of fire a heap of coals is kindled, and a sinful man lays wait for blood. Take heed of a mischievous man, for he works wickedness, lest he bring upon you a perpetual blot. Receive a stranger into your house, and he will disturb you and turn you out of your own. Chapter 12. When you will do good, know to whom you do it, so shall you be thanked for your benefits. Do good to the righteous man, and you shall find a recompense, and if not from him, yet from El Elyon. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that gives no alms. Give to the righteous man, and help not a sinner. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the wicked. Hold back your bread, and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster you thereby. For else you shall receive twice as much evil for all the good you shall have done unto him. For El Elyon hates sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the wicked, and keeps them against the mighty day of his punishment. Give unto the good, and help not the sinner. A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart. Never trust your enemy, for like as iron rusts, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and you shall be unto him as if you had wiped a looking glass, and you shall know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by you, lest when he has overthrown you, he stand up in your place. Neither let him sit at your right hand, lest he seek to take your seat. And you, at the last, remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goes to a sinner, and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with you, but if you begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaks sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagines how to throw you into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon you, you shall find him there first. And though he pretend to help you, yet shall he undermine you. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. Chapter 13. He that touches pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that has fellowship with the proud man shall be like unto him. Burden not yourself above your power while you live, and have no fellowship with one that is mightier and richer than yourself. For how agree the kettle and the earthen pot together? For if the one be smitten against the other, it shall be broken. The rich man has done wrong, and yet he threatens withal. The poor is wronged, and he must entreat also. If you be for his profit, he will use you, but if you have nothing, he will forsake you. If you have anything, he will live with you, yea, he will make you bear, and will not be sorry for it. If he have need of you, he will deceive you, and smile upon you, and put you in hope. He will speak to you fair, and say, What do you want? And he will shame you by his meats, until he have drawn you dry twice or thrice. And at the last he will laugh you to scorn afterward. When he sees you, he will forsake you, and shake his head at you. Beware that you be not deceived, and brought down in your jollity. If you be invited of a mighty man, withdraw yourself, and so much the more will he invite you. Press not upon him, lest you be put back. Stand not far off, lest ye be forgotten. Affect not to be made equal unto him in talk, and believe not his many words. For with much communication will he tempt you, and smiling upon you will get out your secrets. But cruelly he will lay up your words, and will not spare to do you hurt, and to put you in prison. Observe and take good heed, for you walk in peril of your overthrowing. When you hear these things, awake in your sleep. Love Yahweh all your life, and call upon him for your Yeshua. Every beast loves his own kind, and every man loves his neighbor. All flesh consorts according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. What fellowship has the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the righteous? What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog? And what peace between the rich and the poor? As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. As the proud hate humility, so does the rich abhor the poor. A rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends, but a poor man being down is thrust away by his friends. When a rich man is fallen, he has many helpers. He speaks things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him. The poor man slipped, and yet they rebuked him too. He spoke wisely and could have no place. When a rich man speaks, every man holds his tongue, and look what he says. That extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speaks, they say, What fellow is this? And if he stumbles, they will help to overthrow him. Riches are good unto him that has no sin, and poverty is evil in the mouth of the wicked. The heart of man changes his countenance, whether it be for good or evil. And a merry heart makes a cheerful countenance. A cheerful countenance is a sign of a heart that is in prosperity, and the finding out of parables is a wearisome labor of the mind. Chapter 14. Blessed is the man that has not slipped with his mouth, and is not pricked with the multitude of sins. Blessed is he whose conscience has not condemned him, who has not fallen from his hope in Yahweh. Riches are not comely for him who is ungenerous. And what should an envious man do with money? He that gathers by defrauding his own soul gathers for others, that shall spend his goods riotously. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. There is none worse than he that envies himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. If he does good, he does it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. The envious man has a wicked eye. He turns away his face and despises men. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked dries up his soul. A wicked eye envies his bread, and he is ungenerous at his table. My son, according to your ability, do good to yourself and give Yahweh his due offering. Remember that death will not be long in coming, and that the covenant of Sheol is not showed unto you. Do good unto your friend before you die, and according to your ability stretch out your hand and give to him. Defraud not yourself of the good day, and let not the part of a good desire overpass you. Shall you not leave your travails unto another, and your labors to be divided by lot? Give and take, and sanctify your soul, for there is no seeking of dainties in Sheol. All flesh waxes old as a garment, for the covenant from the beginning is, you shall die the death. As of the green leaves on a thick tree, some fall and some grow. So is the generation of flesh and blood. One comes to an end, and another is born. Every work rots and consumes away, and the worker thereof shall go withal. Blessed is the man that meditates good things in wisdom, and that reasons of holy things by his understanding. He that considers her ways in his heart shall also have understanding in her secrets. Go after her as one that traces, and lie in wait in her ways. He that pries in at her windows shall also hearken at her doors. He that lodges near her house shall also fasten a pin in her walls. And he shall pitch his tent nigh unto her, and shall lodge in a lodging where good things are. He shall set his children under her shelter, and shall lodge under her branches. By her he shall be covered from heat, and in her glory shall he dwell. Chapter 15. He that fears Yahweh will do good, and he that has the knowledge of the Torah shall obtain her. And as a mother shall she meet him, and receive him as a woman married of a virgin. With the bread of understanding shall she feed him, and give him the water of wisdom to drink. He shall be stayed upon her, and shall not be moved, and shall rely upon her, and shall not be confounded. She shall exalt him above his neighbors, and in the midst of the assembly shall she open his mouth. He shall find joy and a crown of gladness, and she shall cause him to inherit an everlasting name. But foolish men shall not attain unto her, and sinners shall not see her. For she is far from pride, and men that are liars cannot remember her. Praise is not seemly in the mouth of a sinner, for it was not sent him from Yahweh. For praise shall be uttered in wisdom, and Yahweh will prosper it. Say not, it is through Yahweh that I fell away, for you ought not to do the things that he hates. Say not, he has caused me to err, for he has no need of the sinful man. Yahweh hates all abomination, and they that fear Elohim love it not. He himself made man from the beginning, and left him in the hand of his counsel. If you will, to guard the commandments and to perform acceptable faithfulness. He has set fire and water before you. Stretch forth your hand unto whether you will. Before man is life and death, and whether man likes shall be given him. For the wisdom of Yahweh is great, and he is mighty in power, and beholds all things. And his eyes are upon them that fear him, and he knows every work of man. He has commanded no man to do wickedness, neither has he given any man license to sin.